Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back at it again on my home turf. This is version 2.0 of a series of videos of this car right here. Who owns it? It's definitely not me. It's actually my friend Nick. He started off as a fan of Rady's Rides. Then he reached out to me when he got his FL5 Type R. And boy, oh boy, has it been a crazy adventure following him. We featured already the first set of mods that he did. Now he's taken it to the next level, and there's gonna be more to come. But what car are we talking about? Of course, his Honda Civic Type R. This is that FL5 Type R, very popular car to modify. And as you can see, on the outside is a new color. It was done by Prime Vinyl out in Sarasota. It's called Liquid Metal Adventurine Green. But before we get into this amazing color with a tongue twister of a name, let's talk about what's going on here. So what's great about the car enthusiasts, no matter what type of car you're looking at, whether it's an import, whether it's American muscle, the list goes on and on. People like to personalize their vehicles. And it's interesting because a lot of brands are finally catching on to this and doing a lot of the personalization from the time that you order it or purchase it from the dealership. With Nick's Type R, he's decided to kind of go in a little bit different direction. I'll be honest with you, when he told me that he was thinking about changing the color and going this route, I actually thought it was a bad move at first. If you remember from our first video, and if you haven't seen it, like I said, it's at the end of this one, I really felt like he hit the sweet spot on the style. But I have to say that I am eating my words. This thing looks absolutely spectacular. And wait until I show you some of the things that Prime Vinyl specifically did, especially the door jambs. But what I want to find out is, if you're looking to mod a car, is this the type of car that you would mod? And do you like the mods that Nick has done? He told me that he has thick skin. So go ahead in that comment section as the video's going, let Nick and the rest of us know what you think of his modded FL5 Type R. But why don't we go ahead? Let's see if he's doing it right. Let's dive in and find out. Right off the bat, the color. It actually has a little bit of sparkle to it when you zoom in. So it's not just like a flat liquid metal type of green. It actually has a nice sparkle to it. Really accentuates the body lines, and it reminds me of a color from the past when it comes to Honda Civics. But really, really impressed, not only with the color choice, which his daughter actually had some great input on with going this color direction, but also with the work by Prime Vinyl. Now, with the way the car sits, remember, we're on lowering springs, so you're gonna find that the car is a little bit lower. And we talked more about these things. If you wanna know all the details, like I said, watch the video at the end of this one if you haven't seen it, or maybe you need to rewatch it. That's okay. But this is sitting on lowering springs, really just kind of allows it to have that perfect stance to it. As we come across the front, you would think that it would remind me of Christmas with the red Honda badge, but it doesn't, because this green has such a nice tinge to it. It just really makes it all work together. But only on Type Rs do you find the red Honda badge. And of course, we have the stock Type R badge on the driver's side of that front grille. On the FL5, remember, we talked about this before, but I will remind you, they enlarged the grille area to bring in more air. And one of the things that Nick did is look at the size of that front mounted intercooler. Love the fact that it's black, because if I didn't point it out to you, you probably wouldn't have even noticed it. And I think that's one of the things, like, there's things for you to notice, and then there's other things that are nice and clean. Now, as we rise up, you got that factory hood vent, obviously to draw that hot air out. Look at the way the green, that liquid metal, it almost feels like I've taken a bucket of liquid green paint and just poured it all over, because it fits absolutely perfect. Now, as we come around the bend, what are some of the changes for this review that we have going on? It's not the wheels. We still have those great inky wheels. It actually has to do with the brake calipers. So he went ahead and changed the pads to Paragon P2 pads. It's a street track kind of setup, and also is using the Paragon titanium shims. The reason he went that route is, remember, for heat buildup. We don't like heat on cars, whether it's underneath the hood or your brakes, or the type of heat if the car's stolen. That's not fun if you're going around stealing cars. But definitely upgrading the brake quality, and we're going to take this for a drive and see if the changes really made any kind of difference. Now, I do have to say that stay tuned for part 3 of the series, because the next thing that's going to go are those rotors, and I can't wait to see the direction that Nick went in. But the bronze finish on the inky wheels with that green is absolutely just, it's the chef's kiss. And I'm telling you right now, I'm eating my words, because I thought it was not going to look good. Let me know in the comment sections what do you think. Now, coming down the rest of the vehicle, obviously just the style of the FL5. I prefer it over the FK8, but to each their own. We got the Mugen rain guards. One of those extra touches that when you see a JDM style vehicle, these are the types of mods that people do. And obviously Nick is trying to really just add the perfect balance. It's not just about show. This has the show and it has the go. We did a lot of on throttle last video. I can't wait to do it in this one, because you're going to see why in a second. As we move towards the rear, we have these PRL risers. It's going to help make that wing sit a little bit higher. And what I mean by that, as we swing around, I'm going to have Steven kind of show off. Look at how many different ways. It's like Burger King. You get to have it your way. How many different levels of adjustment there are with this rear wing. Now, another thing, if you remembered, is that Nick is a big, huge anime fan, and the way that he's incorporated this is actually very tasteful and very smart. Underneath, we have My Hero Academia. So we moved on from what we had in the first video. Now we have My Hero Academia. From what I understand, that is his daughter's favorite. So since she's the one that kind of came up with the idea to go in this direction, he wanted to kind of honor her. And Spinny Whoosh, the guy who does the graphics, which you could follow him on Instagram. We're going to be reviewing his WRX hopefully soon. I'm crossing my fingers, I'm crossing my toes, and Steven's crossing his legs, because right now his hands are busy. But let me know what you're thinking about the graphics. Like I said, it's just that nice personal touch that unless you went down like this, you may not even know it's there. Dropping down, that green liquid metal color coming across. Look at what we got. Nick decided to upgrade the exhaust. So he went with the Borla catback attack system. The reason why he decided to go this route is, if you look at any of the factory Honda builds or Acura builds when it comes to the Integra Type S, that is the brand that they go with. So that's the brand he thought would be very smart to go with. Now, what I love about the ones he chose is that he went with the flat black. So you have the triple outlet. Love the way it's got the Borla name up top. Even the way you have that very unique style, the way Borla has their mounting bracket there with the attack name on it. This is one of the options. You could also go with carbon fiber tips, but just like myself, I feel like the carbon fiber tips don't look 100% as good as these do. But definitely let Nick know in the comment section, what are your thoughts so far about his Type R. Let's go pop the hood and see if he made any changes underneath it. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. One of the things that I'm really digging with the way that Nick is going in the journey of modding his FL5 Type R is that he's not just taking a big, huge bag of money and just dumping it into the car. He's making sure that the changes that he makes are going to give him the right results that he wants. And to me, that's very smart. When I used to race cars a very long time ago, when we were at a track to race and it was practice, if there were any changes that needed to be made to the car, we would make one change at a time. You would never come in and do a whole shopping list of changes, because you're not going to know what worked and what didn't work. Same thing with the way that Nick is moving through this. So underneath, I think the biggest change that you're gonna witness is gonna be those PRL charge pipes. Really, really love the way it accentuates under the hood. It's not only gonna help with performance, but it looks so damn good, especially with that powder-coated bright red valve cover, or we should say cam cover. And nice to not have that plastic Honda cover there anymore. And it really just fits the whole setup of what is underneath the hood. Obviously, it's already been tuned, but once he gets to the next point, he's gonna retune it, and we're going to do, or at least he's gonna do, a dyno run, a couple dyno runs on it, so that we can make sure we have the legit numbers. But what I'm hoping to find out, we're gonna find out one way or another. I just hope that it's gonna give him the result for me that he wants to see. We're gonna go on throttle and hit the twisty bits and see how these changes affect performance, especially with the brakes. But why don't we go ahead, before we get to that part, we have a catback exhaust system, that Borla attack system. Let's fire up Nick's Type R and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys. Now, normally we would be sitting inside and I would yell to the door panel and everything else. At this point, the one major difference between this video and the previous video that we did are the spinny whoosh graphics, that anime, that My Hero Academia, just like what you see underneath the wing, that is what's on the center console. Now, I'm gonna wait until the third video to see if there's gonna be any changes, any more changes that Nick's gonna make to the interior before I just let you in. Now, I wanna show you what's underneath the hatch because there's something that definitely you're gonna like. But before I do that, I wanna open up the doors. And the reason why I wanna do this is because Prime Vinyl did something that, I'll be honest with you, I've never seen on a wrapped car before. So what you're gonna find is the door jambs are all wrapped. The work, the patience, the time that it takes to do that is really showing in the quality of work, even when it comes to the rear doors as well. I mean, look at the way everything is just, it almost looks like it's a factory paint job. That to me is also telling of what Nick is trying to accomplish here. He doesn't just want to go with the cheapest person to do the work, because there is an old saying, the cheap comes out expensive. He wants to go with quality, and that's why when you see names like PRL and you see Paragon and all these other names that we're talking about with the modifications, those are quality companies. Now, when we open up the rear hatch, here's the last piece before we go on throttle. PRL rear strut top brace. So it's not just about stiffening up the front of the car, it's also about the rear as well. Because like I said, what it comes down to is balance. Nick wants a balanced performing car. He doesn't want a car that's just fast in a straight line. He doesn't want a car that just brakes well. He wants his whole cake, and he wants to eat it too, basically. And that's what we're gonna find out now. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Nick gave me the keys. He trusts me. I trust him. We're gonna go on throttle in this Type R. All right, guys, we're inside Nick's Type R. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's see how it goes. On throttle! Oh yeah, love that sound. Nice. Woo, the brakes are feeling good. It's incredible because those changes, something like pads, people don't give brakes enough credit. It's like you think that you just got to be faster in a straight line. Being able to get on the brakes later, deeper into a corner, is going to make you faster. Another thing is when it comes to like the chassis stiffness and how Nick has made changes to the bushings to help with that. And he also changed the clutch line. So that is giving me a little bit stiffer of a clutch pedal, but it actually is good. The stock clutch, the way that it's set up from the factory, is just a little too soft. And I get it. They're trying to make everybody happy by, you know, having it be comfortable, especially for those that maybe are new to driving a manual transmission. But I think one of the biggest takeaways is immediately when you get behind the wheel of Nick's car, you feel these differences. And I'm definitely feeling a difference, especially in the brakes from the previous drive that we did. The other thing that's great too is that at this point, this car is still daily drivable. It has not gone past the point to where it's just either uncomfortable or it doesn't play well in traffic. It still daily drives wonderful, but then it also eats up the twisties. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go, that second gear. On the brakes. A little bit of decreasing radius action this corner. Carry the speed, carry the speed. On the brakes. It really is unbelievable. First of all, I always talk about just how unbelievable that this car drives for a front-wheel drive vehicle, but also the way that Nick has it set up, and even simple things like making a U-turn is not that big of a deal. It's like, if I was in a Focus RS right now, life would be miserable. That would be like a 10-point turn. But I was able to get it done, and we could get back to our regular scheduled program. Wow. There's just not enough words for me to explain just how good this setup is. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. Here we go. Nice, look at the grip. Look at that. Guess what? I brought my towel with me. This car is gonna give you all the gasms, eargasms, bodygasms. It feels that good. And it's the type of car that it teaches you to be a better driver. You really gotta hit your marks right. You gotta know where you can carry your speed because you don't have 800 horsepower to make it up on the straightaway. Wow, wow, wow. What a connected feel. I don't know if you're able to pick up in the video, there's no body roll out of this thing whatsoever. And the great news is that I'm able to keep my fillings in my mouth and my organs in my body because the ride is not harsh at all. All the way up to red line. She makes all the right noises. She likes to dance, she wants to dance, and if you got your dancing shoes on, she will make you look really good. And then of course, looking out over the hood, seeing that liquid metal green, just, it makes you feel like you're in truly something extra special. Any Type R is special, but Nick's Type R is extra special with the personal touches that he is putting, plus the fact that he has his family involved in these decisions and choices and stuff, which is really great to see because remember, we gotta keep sharing the passion for cars, because if we stop that, then we're all gonna be driving around in autonomous robot vehicles, and I don't want to be around for that. I've already made up my mind. But I think we need to go on throttle one more time. It's like one of those things that, you know, it's like, even though we've had such a great experience so far, We just need to have a little bit more. And I don't want to be greedy, but I definitely want to showcase the work that Nick has done and all the companies and partners that he works with to make all these changes happen. Plus on top of that, his most important partner, his wife. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Here we go. First gear on throttle. There we go. Love that shifter. Nice. Great communication. It's like I'm one with the car. What a special experience. And the fact, like I said, that this is a good friend of mine now, and that's another thing that's great about being a car enthusiast, is that you meet people along the way and you could easily become friends with them, and it's all about the love of the automobile. But I hope that this has been a good eargasm video. Some of those other gasms. I have my towel. Do you have yours? We're going to get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a nanosecond. All right, guys. What a crazy experience. So grateful that Nick allows us to feature his baby on the channel, because the changes that he has made are phenomenal, and they're changes that you're going to feel. And then, of course, this color, this liquid metal adventurine green. I can't believe I even said it right on the first try. This color just adds to the whole attitude of the vehicle. But now it's your turn. Let Nick know in that comment section. He really is curious to know what the rest of the Radies Rides family members are thinking about the changes. Make sure you watch that previous video. I'll have the link. It should be popping up somewhere right now, so you could go back or watch it for the first time and see where we came from. Obviously, it started off life as a stock FL5 Type R. But definitely want to thank Nick and his whole family for their great support in bringing her out. If you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radies Rides family. Gotta get out to Stephen Flood. Any day he could get a Type R on camera, that's a good day according to him. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.